Thank you, Megan, and welcome everyone to Aloft Sessions. We're very happy that you joined us here today. Aloft Sessions is a quarterly learning event that's brought to you by brand strategy and marketing communications firm Aloft Group. So today we have a really interesting topic that we think is very near and dear to most marketers' hearts. The average marketer uses around 12 different tools, and some of them use up to 31 different tools. Can you imagine 31 different tools to manage their campaigns and make an impact with their customers and prospects? That's a whole lot of tools to manage, and that's just the tip of the iceberg because there are hundreds and hundreds of tool options out there. So with so many of these tools being touted as the next best thing, how do you know what ones are the best ones for you to use so you can make the right amount of impact, let alone trying to manage all these different tools? Well, today we intend to sort that out. We've reviewed dozens of these tools ourselves, and we've chosen two that we think especially really can provide an impact on your marketing campaigns. The focus of both of these tools are customer engagement, something that is really critical for one, on the prospect level, but two, also for engaging people, turning your customers into evangelists for your product, particularly as it pertains to online and social media. So we really wanted to dive into this world because it's just such a critical part of any type of a modern marketing program. So in the next 45 minutes, we're going to explore what makes these tools stand out from all the other ones that we looked at. And we think and we hope, by the time you watch these two, we'll hope you'll consider these tools, or maybe open up your mind to additional tools such as these, so you can start exploring what makes the most sense for your marketing campaigns, your marketing programs. Obviously, the idea when it comes to tools, there is a point where you can be using too many tools, of course. You need to bring simplicity to running your campaigns, of course. Adding too many tools and having too much data can be complex. And so, obviously, you want to try to find that sweet spot. But let's first start here today with these two tools that we picked out today. So we're going to begin with a tool from Influitive. It's a tool that's driving the shift from company-centric marketing to advocate marketing with their advocacy platform. The advocacy platform, doesn't that sound like that should be central to everybody's marketing campaign? Frank Del Pinto has spent his career focused on customer experience management solutions for the B2B marketer. He spent 13 years at EMC Documentum and 2 years at OpenText, focused on providing customers simplified user experiences that increase customer satisfaction and drive advocacy. He's also a noted speaker, author, and passionate supporter of all things customer-centric. So on that note, let me turn this over. We're flipping our screens here, so let me turn this over to Frank. Frank, welcome to Aloft Sessions.
Hey, Matt. Thank you very much for the introduction. I'm very flattered by that.
Well, with that, why don't you take us away? Introduce us to Influitive and your tool.
So with that introduction, I do have more years than I care to admit in terms of experience with customer experience management tools. But I wanted to really give you a sense of what it means to be an advocate, or to basically endorse an advocate marketing platform. So if you think about some of the different ways that we're using marketing in our everyday lives, now people really don't trust authentic authentic voices of a happy customer more than any other source. This includes your marketing. Now, anywhere between 60 to 90% of existing customers are doing a lot of their own research prior to engaging the actual vendor. So they'll conduct their research, they'll read a lot more of your content beforehand, they'll seek the wisdom of the crowd and peers, they'll look to analyst reports, online reviews, crowdsourcing evaluations like G2 Crowd, and blogs. So much of the evaluation that customers are doing about your product is really done by them. We're also finding that within a sales cycle, the references are really being used really early, and this is typically one of the trends that we've noticed because customers are so late within the buying cycle, and it's the advocates that really get you shortlisted. So today's topic is around advocate marketing, and it's really a proactive approach to engaging your customers so they become your brand enthusiasts. I like to call these people your brand evangelists. Now, if you look across your organization, so many of our organization is organized into these functional, oftentimes cross-functional pillars. You'll have sales, customer experience, product, and marketing. Now, when you're reaching out to customers, your wide breadth of whether you're using referenceable customers or not, every department has their own ask of your customer. Sales will be asking for for referrals and references. Customer success will be asking about joining communities. Product marketing will ask about reviews and demos and roadmaps. And marketing will ask them to be speakers, case studies, and participate in any online or in-person events. So all of this requires a time-consuming manual outreach that's pretty disjointed, really, right across the enterprise. This is what I like to call customer fatigue. So you have 4 or 5 customers that you're asking, and multiple departments are asking for multiple things from. Now, I think the best advocate experience is one really that has a number of underlying psychological buttons. And if you press them correctly, you can mobilize your customers towards advocacy. So there are essentially 4 different pillars that address this psychological underpinning to advocate marketing. The first one is around status. So we all have this idea that we want to increase our relative rank. We constantly want to improve. Part of our product does some great things around leaderboards and levels. And some of our customers are using things like special badges, pins, or icons. The second category really revolves around access. Now, this is actually pretty powerful because you have this concept of having a direct line of communication of authority to your company. But really, access is a really powerful motivator either way. So our customers like Marketo are using exclusive receptions for advocates at every event. One of our customers, Ceridian, is actually featuring, uses this concept of having one-on-one lunches with the CEO. The notion of power here is really about affecting change, whether it's internal or external. It's about influence. So in this category, I would put together different ways that advocates can influence a product roadmap. They can help with product naming. They can provide suggestions for track sessions at a corporate event. And the last category revolves around belonging. So I think this is one of the more fundamental needs, and customers really want to feel part of the crowd. This concept of really being part of a tribe, and they want this tribe to be at the forefront of the industry and at the forefront of everything that they do. Now, I thought I'd give you some background about who we are. We have been in the industry for about 7.5, 8 years, started by our CEO, Mark Organ, who started up a company called Aloft, and many of you are probably familiar with it. It's a marketing automation tool. We are sitting about 250 plus customers. We do have about 120 people, and we're based out of Toronto. We have created this entire new category called advocate marketing, and we address it with an advocate marketing platform. So this category, you'll notice it's one of the trends that you'll be hearing in 2017, the advocate marketing experience that really focuses on a customer-centric approach to elevating your brand and messaging to new opportunities. This is really just a cross-section of some of the customers that we currently use in the B2B market, or that currently use us, in the B2B market. They're, of course, largely in tech, but they really span multiple verticals, whether they're in human capital management, HCM, security, content management, or even developer relations. Now, so we've really taken this prescriptive approach to advocacy, and we're looking at 3 different themes as we go to market. The first theme is around discover, the second is nurture, and the third is mobilize. Now, as we discover different advocates, this idea of integrating with marketing software packages. Now, Matt said at the beginning of the session, many marketers are using anywhere between 12 to 32 different tools on a day-to-day basis. So our goal as advocate marketing platform is to integrate into those tools and to bring together those advocates, or shine the spotlight on those advocates. So we integrate with your common CRM tools, Salesforce, we integrate with Eloqua and Marketo, and we have a number of different integrations with social media accounts or social media platforms and communities. Nurture is one of the bigger pillars for us because this is the portion where you start to build deep personal relationships that really exceed advocate expectations. And here you start understanding what their needs are, both on a personal and professional level. And I'll show you what this looks like as part of the demonstration. But much of our effort is focused on the nurture portion. And the last piece is mobilize. So once you've nurture your advocates and you've given them all the information that they need, you can get them to do what we call certain asks. And these asks are basically deploying your advocates on specific missions that drive your business outcomes. I want to give you just a quick outline or overview of what the Influitive suite looks like. Essentially, there are 4 products that make up the suite. The first product on the left-hand side here is what we call Advocate Anywhere. I'll show you this as part of the demonstration. It's a little bit of a sneak peek. These are lightweight components that you can embed in any third-party application or website. Upshot is one of our customer success story platform that allows customers to generate customer success stories in under 10 days. We have a number of different tools that help customers achieve that goal. And that product is called Upshot. Advocate Hub is what you'll be seeing today. This is our mainstay product used by every one of our clients. And there's a mobile version of Advocate Hub called Maven. And Maven actually ships with Advocate Hub, so it's feature parity and it has the exact same functionality that Advocate Hub does. So I'm going to give you a quick product demonstration. There are 2 products that will make up this demonstration. The first is called Advocate Anywhere, a product that I spoke to earlier, and I'll end it with a Advocate Hub demonstration. Perfect. So what you'll be seeing on my desktop is on my corporate website, influitive.com. For many companies, this idea of advocacy doesn't necessarily need to be a full-fledged hub where users log in, very similar to a community. We've decided to extract some of the best components of advocacy and make them available via a widget. So from any third-party application, whether it's a corporate website or an intranet portal, users can browse the content they do on the website, and you'll notice on the left-hand side is a small little tab. These are branded components that users can basically slide out of the browser and take a look at some additional challenges. So these are challenges that are running in our actual hub. In this case, this is what we call a share challenge. It's a non-intrusive component that really engages the end user to participate in an act of advocacy. So you're looking at our customer state marketing report. You can take a look at some details. You can share this report, or you can automatically tweet it, share it through Facebook or LinkedIn. Once a user has done that, they'll click thanks for sharing this, and then they'll get the next set of challenges that are part of the sequence. In this case, it's asking for a Net Promoter Score. And again, the idea here is to basically enable end users to participate in acts of advocacy that are very lightweight. So for the Net Promoter Score, I'll give our company, this specific company, a 9, and I'll click I'll answer it. And it sends you with it provides you with a thank you message. And then all of a sudden, the component disappears because it automatically knows that you've completed both challenges that are specific to this page. Now, what I've shown you today is a branded widget specific to Influitive. We've provided a WYSIWYG interface that allows you to customize that widget based on your corporate branding. So let me move to the Advocate Hub. So Advocate Hub is our full-fledged community where you invite all your advocates, whether you're inviting them from Marketo or you're nominating them directly from Salesforce. There are multiple integrations that allow you to do that. This is the interface that they'll be seeing. I wanted to show you what our Advocate Hub experience, or what my Advocate Hub experience looks like. So in this case, it is branded for Influitive. We call this community, or this Advocate Hub, VIP. Every customer will have their own corporate branding and custom look and feel. It's what we call a white branding. Up at the top, there are a few different icons that indicate different types of functionality. The one I'm currently highlighting is the ability to communicate from peer to peer, so I can send messages to all advocates within the community. I can take a look at all notifications that have been assigned to me or tasks that I've completed. And then up at the top is an image of myself along with some additional information on my profile. So as we browse through the center of the application, this is where we've added a number of different features that allow our advocates to really engage into the platform. The one that you're looking at is called challenges. Now, challenges essentially are made up of what we call as asks. And asks are made up of three different components: education challenges, entertainment challenges, and this general asks. Next to it, you'll see a discussions tab where you can have threaded multiple conversations by topic for every individual users. Advocates can also recommend other advocates to the program, which we call referrals. There is a concept of rewards where you could trade in specific points for certain swag, if you will, or professional perks. And then we've added additional feeds around initiative and my feed. And my feed essentially is a different way of looking at all the content that's specifically created and curated for your specific user. Down on the right-hand side is what we call virtual points. So every time you complete a task within the Advocate Hub, you'll get a certain number of points automatically assigned to you. These are the points that you can use to redeem different types of rewards. So I'll come back to challenges, and I'll show you what one of the challenges look like. But I wanted to just take you through the rest of the real estate on the screen. Up on the left-hand side, we do have, like I mentioned, a mobile application called Maven. It's available on Android and iPhone, where you can quickly download it to your mobile device. We found that many users are using either Advocate Hub at the web browser level, but you can take home the Advocate Hub and participate in challenges, whether they're professional or educational or entertainment challenges, right from the comforts of your couch. So the mobile app really helps with that. On the right-hand side is also my wish list. And the my wish list basically is a set of components or rewards that I've grouped together that I'm working toward. So in this case, I'm working toward a ticket to our user conference. I'm 11% of the way there. And these kinds of details give users the ability to work toward a specific goal. You'll notice my guest blog, I'm part of my rewards, I can redeem this portion. And then branded swag is also available to all your advocates that they can use to redeem their points with. Down at the bottom, I can send invites to any other advocate that I think should be part of the program. And then my leaderboard tells me who is exactly part of this community and how well are they doing as part of the platform. So if we take a look at Adam's profile, Adam has about 36,000 points. He's pretty senior. He is a level advocate, where we have this concept of multiple levels as you progress. And I can take a look at his title. If I click his profile by clicking View Profile, it gives me further information about Adam in terms of not just his title and his point status, but also his direct lines to Twitter and LinkedIn. So as advocates, you almost need to think of this as a user community or a user conference or event where different types of advocates can collaborate and get to know each other on a one-to-one basis. I can take a look at his Twitter feed, I can send him a direct message, take a look at his leaderboard position, and take a look at all the activities that he's currently participating in. If I click message, it'll open up a peer-to-peer message where I could type in a message that's directly meant for Adam. He'll probably respond to that and say, what conference? You'll notice on the left-hand side, there are conversations that I'm having with multiple people in the hub. These don't necessarily need to be administrators, but they can also actually be groups of people that are talking about specific topics. And then down at the bottom are different, here we go. Down at the bottom are different ways that we can look at achievements, and very similar to LinkedIn, it tells me some information around my profile. So I've connected with Facebook and Twitter, and if I connected with other social accounts, my profile number increases, if you will. I also take a look at the different badges that I have based on the number of earned points that I've collected through challenges. So just to show you what discussions looks like, discussion allows me to take a look at all the ongoing conversations that are happening in the hub. I can take a look, I can be part of individual public forums, or I can be part of a private forum, which is a subset of people can be just specific, can be added to by membership. You'll notice there's a conversation that I started around a product launch, and I can drill into the product launch, take a look at some of the details, stream a video, in this case, a launch video that outlines some of the newest features of the hub, and then begin having conversations with other people that have seen this feature. So I can make comments, and then recommend other people as well. I talked a little bit about referrals. So once you're in your hub, one of our biggest concerns is that we want to make sure that our advocate community continues to grow in size. So we put it out to our advocates, recommend someone who you think would be, who would love this kind of experience or loves your brand to be a brand evangelist. So the referral tab assigns points based on any referrals that are provided from this specific advocate. Once they're qualified, in this case 2,500 points, and they're one at 7,500. And these are all configurable parameters that you can assign. And the rewards tab shows you all the things that I'm vying for. I've shown you my wish list, but these are things that you can put in that basically have an advocate work toward. So you'll note that some of these things are swag based, but one of the things that we're noticing that it's taking up, or that some of our customers are adopting much more quicker, is this concept of a professional perk. So as I reach a certain number of points, I could trade in those points to have my VP of marketing perhaps endorse me on a number of LinkedIn skills that I have. Also, I may want to sit down with a product team. So we're seeing a lot of these rewards that are outside of this material reward. And then finally, I'm going to go back to challenges. So challenges in this Lightbox view is really a different way to engage the advocate. So learning more about what their likes and dislikes and some of their interests. You'll notice there is a blue bar around some challenges, and that indicates that it's an experience. An experience is essentially a set of challenges that are based on theme. So if you're onboarding individuals, onboarding new employees, you can have specific themes for them or challenges for them to complete, like completing their Slack profiles or setting up emails and calendars. And then underneath it are just regular, what we call just challenges, and they're organized into different categories. So if I click the filter by allows me to take a look at challenges based on different organizational groups. I'll click the fun challenge to take a look at challenges that are really outside of the realm of anything to do with the product or the brand. So it's more about who is this person in the photo, listen to the special message, around the CEO. You may want to have, we had Oscar, who's going to win certain best picture for Oscar. And this really gets the administrator a better understanding of who the advocate is. They're almost fun-based challenges that you can win different types of points for. Every challenge has a set of points that's assigned to it, in this case 25 points for Mystery Mondays challenge, and it's completed by 80 people. Under references, I can take a look at all the references that have been assigned to me. So in this case, I'm being asked by our company, Influitive, to speak to a customer. So in this case, I can speak to SAS by looking at the challenge itself. I'll be awarded 1,000 points if I do a customer reference call. This automatically gets sent back to the administrator. So now you're actually empowering your advocates to do something with the information that they have. If they're comfortable enough to provide a reference or a product demonstration, either a use case or even a product demonstration. So let's go back quickly to challenges, and I'll actually complete a challenge so you know what it looks like. I've actually published a challenge around product naming. One of the things I want to do as a product marketer is I want my advocates to name every product feature that goes to market. So I'll click view for this specific challenge, and essentially 50 points will be assigned to any advocate or any internal employee that can name this new feature that we're proposing. They'll probably launch within the Q1 or Q2 timeframe. It gives some background. It's currently called the feed, and it'll ask them for specific information around what do you think it should be called. Now, this really gets back to this concept of really having the advocates have influence over exactly how the product is being created, and it's essentially that notion, philosophical notion of power. So being able to make references in terms of roadmap and product features. So let's just say I want to call this the source, because that's what I think the feature should be named. I love this feature. And then I'll click, OK, I'm done, thank you. What you'll notice is the points, the 50 points that have been assigned to me will automatically come up as challenge completed. And then in the center of the window, they'll give me other like challenges that they think that me as an advocate would like. So I can participate in an Advocate Anywhere challenge, which is a product base, or I can actually participate in a social share challenge. So that's really a high-level overview of the product. Of course, there are administrative features. We do full hub analysis on the administration side to give you a better understanding of exactly how to leverage your advocates, depending on the marketing campaign that you're running. Megan, I'll pass it back to you.
Great, thanks, Frank.
Yeah, thank you, Frank. That was a nice quick overview. Thanks very much. I think for anyone who if their approach to creating advocates is to get somebody to like your brand on Facebook, I think you can see that there's a much deeper approach to what needs to be taken, what needs to happen to really truly create fans and advocates. In fact, in the current issue of Harvard Business Review, there's a really interesting study that just came out about exactly this, about how in social media, marketers spend so much time chasing people to like them, and they put so much of their budget around the likes side of this. And in this new study, it shows that it actually has a zero impact on revenue. And marketers really need to change the way they are thinking in terms of getting people to like it. You need a much deeper and much more engaging role. And social media light has a zero impact on that. So if you have a chance to look at the new Harvard Business Review, definitely read that article. It's very interesting. So let's look up at our second tool today. And we're keeping into the same theme here of advocates, but this one's more about creating experiences, customer experiences, and really turning your customers into fans of yours who really want to engage in really unique ways. James Hunt is going to do our next part of our presentation. He's an account executive at Fooji. James is based in Lexington, Kentucky. And he was the fifth employee, I believe that's right. You were the fifth employee at Fooji, so he's been there from the very beginning. He currently works with globally recognized clients such as Sony, Amazon, Adidas, Toyota, and Hulu. So you can see there's some really big brands have really grabbed on to Fooji as a way to create some really exciting, engaging opportunities with their customer base. So with that, let me turn it over to you, James, and why don't you walk us through your tool?
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for that. Thanks, everybody, for being here. I really appreciate it. Just want to kind of give you guys a quick overview, run through a couple case studies that we've done. Just kind of give you kind of an example of how we use our product here at Fooji. So to start, just kind of giving you a little background on where we started. Back in 2015, we were actually starting as a B2C company, and what we were doing at the time was we were just really simplifying food delivery. So basically, what we came up with was we always had this issue at the office where we were trying to figure out what we wanted for lunch, and we would scroll through different on-demand delivery services like Grubhub, who have tons of restaurants that they deliver from. And we could never really make a decision. So we thought, well, how do we simplify this? Maybe we could just, tweet or text out an emoji and have a specific cuisine type delivered to us. So for example, if we wanted a cheeseburger, but we didn't know where we wanted to get it from, we could just tweet or text out the cheeseburger emoji and have that delivered to us in under 60 minutes. So that's kind of what we built to start. It was this really kind of novel idea that ended up getting a lot of press written about us. So From that press came, brands, agencies seeing that, and, they saw us in kind of a different light as this fan engagement platform. So actually in September of 2015, Verizon actually came to us with their agency, and they wanted to do this whole promotion around something they had going on called Why Not Wednesday. So at the time, they asked us to deliver cheeseburgers and fries nationwide to their fans. So basically, we did that. It went over really, really well. And from there, more brands and agencies started seeing what we were doing and, started to request us, as this fan engagement platform that you see today. So in the beginning of last year, we actually completely pivoted. Now we work directly with brands and agencies as a B2B company, and we deliver these on-demand fan experiences. So really, the problem that Verizon came to us with, and I think a big problem in marketing today is there's just a lot of digital advertising clutter that's out there, and it's just really difficult to create these meaningful interactions with your fans. So they saw us as a way to do that and help kind of cut through all that clutter. So our solution to that was, we're able to truly surprise and delight your fans at scale. So we do these on-demand fan experiences that help you truly cut through that clutter and help you stand out. So the way we do that, we combine the best on-demand services with the best social and chat networks. So, we allow you to start this interaction on social media and then have it end in a physical delivery. So we can do anything now. We deliver food and beverage, alcohol, custom goods, product samples, merchandise, kind of anything you can think of, we can deliver that one that we have today. We really see that there's kind of three main ways to use the platform. One main way that we do a lot of today is giveaways and sweepstakes. So basically, it's first come, first served. You're giving away a set number of products for free. In the giveaway form for a sweepstakes, we can vary it to maybe give away one every hour, one every 10 minutes, that kind of thing. Another great way to use the platform is for product sampling. So, if you guys have new products coming out, want to get those out first to market, and create, this really great buzz on social media, great way to get all that awareness on social media and then get the product delivered into somebody's hands in under 60 minutes. So really impactful way there. And then the last way here is social commerce. So if you were actually wanting to charge people for product or maybe heavily discount a product, we have that capability as well. We can just add a payment system on our microsite where people enter in their credit card information. Moving forward here, this just kind of gives you a visual of where we sit as a platform. So you can kind of picture us as the middleware in between, the social and chat networks on the left, and then these on-demand fulfillment. Right. So basically, we can run any type of activation on any one of these social platforms, and then also use any one of these. Getting into how it works, a 6-step process here for the user flow. So this is an example on Twitter. This is one that we just did on Valentine's Day this year with Disney. They wanted us to help promote their movie coming out, Beauty and the Beast. So this is one that we did just a couple weeks ago. Step one here, basically what happens is we will get with the brand and come up with some sort of call to action. So typically, the call to actions that we use are a combination of a hashtag and an emoji. So for this one, it was the hashtag Be Our Guest and the rose emoji. So we get with the brand, we align that, and then the brand will actually tweet out notifying their fans how to perform that call to action. So for this, they tweet out to their fans saying, hey, tweet the hashtag Be Our Guest and the rose emoji at our handle in order to get a rose delivered to you. Step two, the fan will actually perform that call to action. So they tweet that back out at the brand with the hashtag and the emoji. And then step 3, this is where our platform comes in. So we are actually listening for that call to action and reply to the fan from the brand's handle with a unique link. The fan will then click that link. It'll drive them into a branded microsite, which you can see in step 4. This is where we collect all their information. So they enter in their name, email, phone number, etc., and then the actual order is fulfilled. So step 5, they can track their order in real time. And then step 6, this is the really cool part. So what we see is, in all of our campaigns, we have an extremely high number of people that are receiving product and then taking pictures of what they received and sharing that back out on social media. So it's creating all of this really, really great user-generated content. And as you can see here, if you can see the picture here, this is one of the roses that we sent. It's got branded box with it, so it's really great branding and creates a lot more awareness for the campaign. Like I mentioned in step 4, the last slide, we do have a custom microsite that we build in-house and we host on our end. This is an example of one that we did with MTV for their show Ridiculousness. So basically, we just asked for assets from the brand, and we put together this microsite for you, and this is where people enter in their information. It's extremely lightweight. It is not an app, so they don't need to download anything else. It creates a lot less friction. Runs on web browser. So this just kind of gives you an example of what those look like on mobile and desktop. And then we also have a campaign dashboard that we built. So basically, this allows you to track the metrics live on our dashboard while the campaign is going on. So, we allow you to track all the major things. As you can see there, bulleted out, impressions, cost per milli, engagements, the cost per engagement, tweets, signups, page views, etc. So we allow you to track all those metrics in real time as the campaign is going on. Kind of getting into some case studies and results here. Here's a list of the clients that we've worked with so far. Like I said, we've been doing this just for about a year now, so we've had the ability to work with some very large clients and gain a lot of traction, in a pretty short amount of time. So we have some great clients. We wanted to kind of go through a couple of these case studies with you guys to kind of show the impact that we've had for some of these guys. So year-to-date impact here in 2017. So since January, we've done, I think, about 7 different campaigns, and we've been able to get all these great numbers here and generate a really big impact for the brands that we've worked with. So all of the numbers on here that you'll see are all organic, so there's no paid media behind any of these. So year to date, we've been able to generate 300 million earned in organic impressions, 100,000 fan registrations and sign-up, 240,000 earned in organic brand mentions, and then all of that was done on just 15,000 successful deliveries. So really the takeaway here is you don't have to deliver a lot of items to get this really large impact that you see. And we really like to attribute that to, kind of giving before you get. So the brand is willing to something before they ask for anything in return, which, kind of creates this organic buzz around everything. Getting into one of our first case studies that we did, this was last year with Warner Brothers. They had their movie coming out, How to Be Single. They wanted us to help promote that. So they created this kind of campaign around the single. It was a 6-day long activation, really fun when we were delivering pizza, Chinese food, wine. We aligned it with the premiere of The Back. Fun, engaging activation that we did. As you can see, the numbers there were great. 165,000 page views, 36,000 signups. We generated 42 million hashtag impressions, and we were actually able to trend twice globally, 5 times nationally, and then in 12 of the major markets. So really great campaign here. One really cool thing that they did on the last day, promote pre-sale tickets and hope to get people to purchase pre-sale tickets before the movie came out. So on the last day, we actually put a secondary call to action on the microsite that said, click here to purchase your pre-order tickets for the movie. And with that, we were able to see a 60% click-through rate. So very high click-through rate with that, generating, pre-sale tickets purchases. Moving on to the next one here, this is one that we just finished up, in February. We worked with MTV. They had the show Friends come back on the air on MTV this year, so they wanted to help promote that, and they ran this campaign called Dinner with Friends. So really cool thing here. We sent pizza, meatball subs. We sent a custom kit that was a custom dinner kit. It had plates and cups and placemats, and kind of created this fully branded experience. Again, 6 days long. One really interesting thing about this campaign is instead of running the call to action on social media, they were actually running it on live TV. So the call to action actually came up in the bottom right-hand corner of the TV screen while Friends was on, and it told people what they had to do to receive their free item. So this one was really cool. They wanted to, obviously drive a tune-in for the show, which is why they put the call to action on TV. So helping drive that tune-in, which was great. You can see the numbers up here: 39,000 engagements, 74,000 total tweets, 69 million hashtag impressions, and then we trend nationally every night for this one as well. Another one here we did with TBS and Conan. Conan was coming back to New York City, going to the Apollo, so we created this experience for him, delivering pizza and Pepsi Zero Sugar. So it was this dual branded activation kind of partnership with Pepsi and TBS, where we were actually getting this new product out the market. So Pepsi Zero Sugar at the time was not available in stores. So we actually had to go out and source this product from local distribution centers, and we were able to deliver that and get that out first to market to fans, as you can see here with a custom flyer and pizza. So this was a really great one. Again, we just did this in New York City, so we trended in New York City for this one as well. Another one here that we did in early February for VH1, they have a show called Black Ink Crew. Really the takeaway here, we were delivering pizzas again for this one, but they had a pretty small budget for this, under $50,000, and they were able to generate the numbers you can see up there: 16,000 engagements, 18,000 tweets, 9.4 million hashtag impressions. But the three things here are obviously globally trending and nationally trending for this campaign. For under that dollar amount is extremely good to do with what they were spending. And then the last one here that I wanted to share with you was one that we did with Adidas. So this is one of our more custom activations. We were aligning this with the announcement of Chris Bryant winning the National League MVP. Not sure if anybody on the call knows who Chris Bryant is, but he plays for the Chicago Cubs. They had just won the World Series, and he's sponsored by Adidas. So Adidas came to us, and they were, kind of thinking that he was going to be winning the National League MVP. So they had us set up in Chicago with these custom T-shirts, and that he.
Yeah, I think we just lost the audio on
James.
On James, I think you just popped off here, so we can't hear you now. What we'll do then here is hopefully James, you can get reconnected back to us. But why don't we take this back and kind of wrap this up now and look at some questions. We've got some questions coming in here. So Frank, let's I'm going to throw a question to you because we're not sure if James can hear us right now. But let's start with you, Frank. So with your tool, with your very very interesting tool for creating advocates, I was wondering if you could just talk about where you see the future of advocacy marketing in general. Where do you see it heading?
Um, so I think there are different points on this, and I may say something controversial. Uh, one of the things I think that we need to distinguish in the marketplace is this idea of an influencer versus an advocate, where influencers have perhaps general wider audience and perhaps more coverage, whereas an advocate is someone who is extremely loyal to the brand, and think of it almost like a happy, very happy loyal customer. I predict that advocacy marketing, I'm hearing it much more in some of the trending analyst trends, or based on some of the conversation I'm having with analysts. Advocacy seems to be everywhere, and it's top of mind of one of the priorities for CMOs. I actually think that advocate marketing is going to take over or be added to content marketing. So I think the way that marketers basically create content will have to have some sort of advocacy component where customers are creating content for the marketers to share with wider audiences. And I think advocacy is going to be the next demand gen machine, if you will. So rather than send out your marketing automation spamming a million different people in a prospect database, we're looking at advocacy being much more nurturing. So your advocates will basically provide you with the people that you'll be communicating with rather than just a larger spam email.
Do you see it's an interesting vision of where things are going, and I could completely imagine that being the case. What challenges? I think as marketers, we oftentimes like to think we're in control, but of course,
Yeah,
oftentimes we're not, right? So,
right.
in this particular case, you really are giving up a lot of control, and having and relying on your customer base to create content. What challenges do you see with that?
Um, so I think one of the things that I struggle with, so I've worked in large enterprises across the board. So I was at EMC for 13 years and OpenText, and there was such a critical vision on making sure that everyone had the same vision. But our customers really wanted to hear how are other customers using the product? What are they saying? I found that cabs were really, really important as well. So in terms of the message that many organizations want their customers to be communicating, I think the message is actually what's being generated, what's being said by the advocate. So they're the ones that are driving a lot of your marketing message. And if you do it intelligently, you can actually educate all your advocates about your messaging and get them on board before they start communicating it to the marketplace. So right now I showed earlier this Discover, Nurture, Mobilize. So this is not something that I just made up here in my marketing department and we're all communicating across the organization. This is something we've taken to our advocates, something they've agreed with, they've signed off on, and I've noticed a lot of their conversations revolve around those three different buckets. It's something they feel as though they're a part of. So I think getting some type of litmus test and validation from all advocates is really one of the biggest challenges that any marketer is going to have. It's the only way to be successful. This mountaintop, like Moses carrying down the tablets, that marketers use in terms of their message is really not effective anymore.
Yeah, for sure. I'm curious when you first start working with companies and brands, what are they typically trying to achieve? I mean, of course they want to create advocates, but from a deeper level than that, are you getting a feeling of things trending in a certain way in terms of what they're really trying to accomplish?
Yeah, so there are a few trends that I've noticed. Some of the things that are coming up over and over again, and this is really in the last 6 months or so, this idea of reducing customer churn. The word churn is showing up in every CMO presentation. And the idea is to try to reduce monthly recurring revenue, or MMR, down to a certain level where customer success can actually renew different customers. We're also seeing this trend of CMOs are talking about this reduction in MQLs. So really high quality MQLs are drying up in the funnel, and they're looking for other ways to generate MQLs. So they're leaning toward their advocates or their existing happy customer base. I hear a lot about this resurgence of the cab. So this idea of a community of like-minded, happy customers that can contribute to product roadmap and product direction. So that's come up. And I think the fourth bullet really is of retention. So a lot of our customers are focused on retaining not only existing customers, but customers that they may have lost in the past and bringing them back on board. So I think those are the four top things, or four trends that I'm seeing really across all new clients.
Great. Just one last question for you.
Yeah, sure.
For the people who are listening on here who perhaps aren't working at a large enterprise company like many of the companies that you've worked with, do you feel that
Yeah.
Influitive is a good solution for all size companies, or where do you think beyond the very large companies, where's the sweet spot?
So to be honest with you, our enterprise accounts make up just a small portion of our existing customer base. So all of our, I would say a good portion, more than almost half, are SMB or small medium business, because these are the brands that really are maximizing their marketing dollar, and they want to have the biggest impact. And the best way to do that is by using your advocates to go to the market with your message. So marketing departments that are smaller in size are typically our best customers, because they're the ones that are resource strapped, need to do more with less, but they use all their advocates to the best of their capabilities.
Great. All right. Good to know. James, are you on here?
I am.
You are. Okay, James, great. Sorry, we lost you there for a second. Just a quick question for you. I'm curious. You gave some really fantastic examples and with seriously impressive results in terms of what you've been able to generate. Can you imagine a situation, again, for the people who are on the phone who aren't necessarily a consumer brand, who have a B2B brand themselves? Can you imagine a situation where using Fooji in a commercial or a B2B setting, not necessarily in somebody's home or for a consumer product?
Yeah. So, in a B2B setting, I think there's definitely a few different ways to do it. We haven't touched into that at all yet, but I think there are definitely some really kind of unique ways to use the platform and connect between businesses. And there's really endless ways to use it. So I think it's definitely an option that we can look into. We haven't done it yet, but I think it's definitely something that could do really well.
Yeah, we're imagining using it in an office setting, across multiple offices or whatever the case may be. So we ourselves were looking at this and imagining what it's a platform, right? And so there's many different ways of using the platform and different creative ways of doing just that. So,
yeah.
One more question, James. We have another question for you. Why do you find that delivering these kinds of over-the-top experiences are so important in 2017?
I think they're so important because everybody, I think everybody likes to have stuff now. So, being able to actually interact with a fan, on social media and then give them something that they can physically have instantly. It's just really impactful. I think everything's kind of moving towards, wanting stuff right now. You can see kind of Amazon Prime now, you can buy stuff and have it delivered to your house the same day. So this is kind of the same thing, but it's that instant gratification that everybody's looking for. But also, getting that from a brand, in a fun way is something that we see, is great for what we're doing.
Excellent. Great. Well, we are at the end of this Aloft session. So first off, let me thank you both, Frank and James, very much for joining us here today. I think you guys both have two very interesting tools that I hope everybody who was joining us today can look at these tools and imagine in your own world how might you use these, or explore the whole world of marketing tools out there, because there's so many more coming out every day after day. So thanks very much. This has been it's been very educational, very entertaining, I think, for us all. If you'd like to contact Frank or James, their email addresses are on the screen right now. Please just reach out to them directly. If you'd like to get an introduction to them, or if you'd like to brainstorm with them for your own personal application for your own company, then by all means do that. Same goes with me. If you'd like to reach out to me for Aloft group brand and marketing strategy, we'd love to talk to you as well. So with that, let me wrap this session up. Thanks very much, everybody, for joining us, and look forward to talking with you again on the next Aloft session.